Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So ready to watch an interesting movie recap.
A, fi- a fisherman caught a carp, but it looked a bit different. He suddenly opened his mouth and begged the fisherman for mercy. "I beg you, let me live. I'm not a real fisherman. I'm a desired prince. Let me live, fisherman. What would you do if you killed me? I wouldn't taste good after all. Put me in the water and let me swim. You don't have to say so many words. A fisherman who can speak, I won't let him swim." The kind-hearted fisherman was moved. He decided to let him return to the sea. The fisherman returned home empty-handed. His wife asked him in confusion, "Why did you come back empty-handed today?" The fisherman told him the story of saving the carp. At first, his wife was a little skeptical, but seeing how sincere her husband was, she believed in this strange story. Then he said to the fisherman, "Since we saved his life, why don't we ask for a reward?" He looked at his house and imagined how nice it would be to have a new wooden house. So he urged his husband to talk to the carp. The fisherman has always been obedient to his wife. He had to go to the sea with his head held high to find the carp, and he said his wish out loud. "I wish you a long life. I wish you a long life in the sea. I'm a happy fisherman. I don't want to die like this. So, what do you want? My wife said I should wish for something from you." "So, a cabin." The carp was very grateful for saving his life. Without further ado, he agreed to this request. Let him go home and look at his little house. After that, he went deep into the swamp. When his husband walked to the door, he was surprised to find that the broken house had really become a new wooden house. His wife was so happy that she couldn't wait to take her husband to visit their garden. At this time, the fisherman held his wife's hand and said to him, "What we have now is good enough. Let's live a stable life like this in the future." His wife also agreed. They hugged each other happily and celebrated happily. After this happened, the fish that the fisherman caught every day was several times more than before, but he never thought of selling it at a good price to make himself rich, but to give it to those families who lack food. He believed in doing this. In the future, these people will also be willing to help others in need. The fisherman was kind. However, such a peaceful day did not last long. His wife complained to him that she could not feel happy. The little house and the garden were all narrow and crowded. He had to work hard. Looking back all day, he was not decent at all. He wanted to live in a luxurious castle or a life served by someone. So he urged his husband to discuss with the fisherman again. "The world is big enough for me. We have everything we need. I hope we can live in a castle, as I wish." Seeing that there was no result, his husband had to come to the seaside again to find the fisherman's new wish. Mancha temperature. Botja indese. We de flodder in daisy, I will not live like this." "Well, what do you want?" "Oh, dear bud, I want to live in a big castle." "Go ahead, you already have one." Back home, the wooden house had become a golden castle. The people stood side by side respectfully. His wife also became a dignified rich woman. "Oh, you are so beautiful." The woman took the fish bowl in her hand. The fisherman was not used to it yet, but the feeling of being served was really good. He asked his wife in confusion. He left everything to the woman. "What should we do?" His wife answered gently, "Just enjoy it." The fisherman wanted to take his wife to thank the wooden house together, but his wife didn't take it seriously. She thought they saved the wooden house. These are all rewards. There is no need to thank. A few days later, the woman reminded him politely that his wife's behavior was not elegant enough, so he learned the etiquette of the nobles according to the books. He practiced hard. At the first banquet with the fisherman revealed too many details that were not in line with their identities. The fisherman laughed in front of him. The fisherman's family is just a rich family. They have no real knowledge and lack of nobility. These words completely angered his wife. He angrily drove the fisherman out. At night, he looked at his unhappy wife. His husband comforted him. "We are fishermen. Why do you care about these false names?" But the humiliated wife didn't think so. He made up his mind. He could never let the fisherman see himself clearly again. When he woke up in the morning, he looked at the barren space outside the window. His wife suddenly had a bold idea. He wanted to be the ruler of this prison. As long as he became the king, no one would dare to look down on him again. "You can't be king all over the land. Go to the boat. We want to be kings." "What should we be kings? I don't want to be a king." If you don't want to be a king, I don't want to be a king. Seeing his wife so depressed, Yufu went to the seaside again to find the fisherman. The fisherman never refused his request. Soon his wife put on the crown as she had wished. She became the queen above all people. The citizens bowed to her. The fisherman was embarrassed. He accepted the fish by his wife. He got a strange disease. When he came back to the palace, he felt isolated from the luxurious environment. He couldn't help asking his wife, "Now that you are the king, we won't ask for more, will we?" His wife replied, "As a king, you must meet the needs of the people. If I can't do it, I can only make a wish to the fish." The fisherman couldn't tolerate him anymore. As his wishes came true, the sea became smelly. People who ate sea fish fell ill one after another. But his wife couldn't hear her husband's advice. In his opinion, having supreme power and wealth is a kind of loss. However, his wife's desire was endless. From the king of one side to the emperor of Europe, to the Pope who was worshipped by thousands of people, his wife's ambition grew bigger and bigger. Her husband pretended to be a refugee and got into the crowd of people. He complained to the Pope, "I used to have a wife who lived a simple and happy life in a small house, but later she lost herself. I don't know if she can come back." The Pope didn't recognize the beggar in front of him as his husband. He just answered him sarcastically, "Please pray sincerely. Maybe a miracle will happen in the future." The fisherman laughed at him. He turned around and left helplessly. He wanted to catch up and ask, but he was caught by the heavy official's hat. The people who came to pray for the king became the Pope's wife, but they couldn't feel the superiority brought by power. Instead, their hearts were full of sadness. The heavy responsibility pressed him to the point that he could hardly breathe. When he woke up in the morning, the Pope looked out the window. A shocking idea suddenly came to his mind. "Go to the boat. I want to learn about God again." "What? What did you say?" "Man, if I'm not the sun, the moon can rise. Do I have to look like the sun and the moon rise? How can it be true?" He wanted to be the god of this world. The fisherman heard this and couldn't believe it. He thought his wife had lost her mind and refused his request again and again. However, under the threat of his wife's crying, he finally went to find the fish. But the fisherman's wish was not to pray for his wife to become a god, but to cancel all his wishes. The fish promised him as usual. When he woke up, the Pope's identity disappeared. His wife returned to the old house. Looking around the familiar environment and objects, he suddenly felt a kind of unprecedented relaxation. It turns out that this house is so warm. Why haven't I paid attention to it before? At this moment, he finally realized how much he liked it. Every ordinary moment he liked to live here. The fisherman went home and saw his wife returning to the way she was before. The two of them hugged each other happily as usual. It's just that this time the hug was more intense. "I don't want to die, Isabel. I don't want to die."